Good day. Sin Fronteras is a work of collective creation of the Workcenter Studio in residence, a program created within the Workcenter of Jerzy, Grotowski and Thomas Richards in March of 2016, which brings together 7 actors of different nations: Colombia, Chile, Sweden, France, and Spain. Sin Fronteras is a result of a pedagogic encounter that began years ago and which has naturally led into an intense process of artistic and creative research. The creative process that is taking place in the Workcenter Studio is unique in its kind. It is the first time that I direct a piece entirely in Spanish, with actors and actresses all Spanish-speaking. And the studio also provides me with the opportunity for the first time to conduct a long-term investigation into the potentialities that certain Latin American songs can have as tools to assist the doing persons, the actors, doers, towards what Grotowski called objectivity of ritual, while at the same time sustaining a living function within a dramaturgical structure. During Sin Fronteras, which unfolds after the earthquake in Chile in 2010, the spectators witness the radical transformation of 4 volunteers from an NGO who come to help give relief to victims of the disaster. The conflict unfolds when Anna, the character in charge of the NGO, realizes that her newcomer colleagues have told children affected by the catastrophe a story of Heinrich von Kleist called Earthquake in Chile. When we started to investigate and reflect on the circumstance of the play, and consequently the catastrophe, we began to reflect as well upon the complex human processes that occur in the effort to help another human being in such a situation. Not only what internal forces and mechanisms are involved in this process, how do they articulate in the social structures of our civilization as well as in our external behaviors and actions. Can we alleviate the suffering of another? And to what extent? And with what tools can we as human beings face and potentially be transformed by, in part, our own suffering? Through the enactment of the story of Kleist, the audience is transported from the realism in which the NGO exists to a bizarre and comic universe, which is tremendously surprising and, I must say, at times hilarious, with a unique visual work that's appearing in rehearsals. In this universe, the volunteers become gradually no longer just characters of a drama. More and more, as the piece develops, we see them as the embodiments of a human attempt through action to give a direct and not only discursive answer to the issues that the piece has put in question. It is in this confrontation with themselves, with their deepest needs, their motivations, their desires, their mechanisms as human beings, with what they insist on and what they resist, that something in the volunteers of the NGO breaks, let's say opens in a positive way, ushering them into another territory in which they are as if caught up in the wild currents of a tsunami, where interhuman contact far removed from daily mechanicity becomes possible. As they travel towards waters that are unknown for them, where they reveal intimate and subtle aspects of their being. I am very pleased to return to Teatro Academia after our presentations in Barcelona of the Living Room 7 years ago, for the world premiere of Sin Fronteras, created within our newly formed Workcenter Studio in residence. Greetings from Italy. See you in November. Bye-bye.